My good friend and colleague Natalia Orlova came to Lake Isyk-Kul on holiday every year. This is our lake, the pearl of Central Asia. She was very fond of horses, especially the Orlov trotter. These trotters are very playful and beautiful. Natalia loved them not only for their beauty, but because this breed was bred by her direct ancestor Count Orlov in the 18th century. Close friends and I sometimes called her a countess, half-jokingly, and she really liked it. Natalia graduated from the Faculty of European Civilization of Kyrgyz National University. She was fluent in English and German. French, as she said, was her mother tongue, along with Russian. Surprisingly, all women in her family, her mother, grandmother, great-grandmother and so on, spoke French perfectly, like the true offspring of countries. She was a tall, very beautiful and noble girl. Especially her blue eyes were impressive. When she carefully looked at you, her eyes seemed deep, bottomless, and you could feel the breath of another unknown world. Natalia loved horses, and therefore she visited us every summer. Sometimes she came in winter. She rode her beloved blue and white Orlov trotter along a lonely path, and the spray of silver snow gave her indescribable beauty and grace. She liked that near Lake Isyk-Kul there was a beautiful stud farm and hippodrome that was famous in Soviet times. Even today, its glory did not fade. There are numerous horse breeds, including dozens of Orlov trotters. Moreover, this hippodrome played a significant role in the preparation and conduction of the World Nomad Games. These games became one of the symbols of Kyrgyz people, which gave impetus to the development of all peoples with a nomadic lifestyle in their history. Once, she invited me to Moscow for the exhibition fair of thoroughbred horses. My friends and I had made a gift for Natalia. It was a kamcha, nagaika, a whip which consists of 40 braided lines that are thinly cut leathers. In distant times, such a gift was given only to noble rules, and we decided she was worthy of such a gift, especially since she was a countess. And at the fair and walking around Moscow with friends, I noticed much more bewitching shining in her eyes than ever. She was like a spring mountain flower, sparkled like a star. She was illuminating positive energy as if by magic. Life had become more beautiful and full of color. We friends all knew that she was in love. Suddenly, Natalia said quietly to me, "You know, Erkin, he is completely different. This is a man from across the ocean that can change the world. This is a man who is deeply delving into the essence of all mankind and can make everyone successful." Two days later, she brought me kamcha gift, and showing its head, she said, "What do you call this, buldurgu? It's somehow unlashed inadvertently. Please reattach it." I wondered with concern why the buldurgu not untied. I, together with the friends who made the kamcha, firmly tied this small 3 cm leather rope in a special way. We have an omen: if buldurgu is untied, it is not good. The next day, I, having properly fixed buldurgu on the kamcha whip, prepared to go and visit Natalia. But I heard bad news from friends, who literally flew into my room to pick me up. "Natalia fell off the horse. Let's rush to the hospital." During a ride on a little unexpected horse, she was trotting on the path in the woods, and somehow the horse, frightened by something, threw Natalia off itself. Falling off her horse, Natalia broke her spine and damaged her spinal cord. When we were near her hospital ward, my friends and I saw through a glass door a middle-aged man with a strong physique and memorable red hair sitting next to Natalia. With his own hands, he gently stroked Natalia's little white hand and was whispering something slightly behind his head. In deathly silence, fragments of individual phrases were heard. my cheek. Do not give up. I will get you out. I will reach an agreement with God, and I will get you out." The red-haired man spoke quietly. His voice transmitted such warm and sincere energy. All of us who heard his words believed him and thought that he really could help her. She lay motionless. It seemed to me that she clearly heard. A lonely drop of tears slowly flowed down from her closed eyes and stopped in the middle of her face. Suddenly, she began to straighten up and let out her last breath. The doctor asked the man to leave the ward. I was sure, I knew that he was Natalia's man from across the ocean. Despite his powerful growth, he looked like a lost youth. His eyes seemed to not notice anything. Time had stopped for him. 2 days later, I came to the hotel where the red-haired man was staying. He stood with another man in the hotel lobby. When I started coming up to them, this young man blocked me in the direction of the red-haired man. When I told the young man, his assistant, or the bodyguard, that I wanted to give Natalia Orlova's thing to his boss, hearing her name, the red-haired man suddenly flinched, or it seemed to me he carefully looked at me with a questioning look. I saw a huge spiritual loss in his eyes, and in spite of his willpower, it seemed that his whole life was losing its meaning. I said, "Mister, let me pass you the thing of Natalia. I think it will be right." And I handed over the Kamcha whip. He took it silently and gazed for a long time at it. I turned, stepped toward the elevator with relief. Here in America, reading a Russian language newspaper, if I am not mistaken, Arguments and Facts America, I noticed the old photo of 1987. In the photo, there was Natalia's man from the ocean, that red-haired man. It was young Donald Trump, now the President of the United States. Maybe Natalia's Kamcha is hanging in his office. This whip was not just a charm, but also a source of inspiration for Trump. Perhaps it was the Kamcha that became that elusive symbol that helped him win a second term, becoming the President of the United States. For Trump, it was not just an achievement, but a recognition of his strength and determination. The Kamcha became his personal symbol of power and victory, much like his path to success.